DeRo, I know you spent a little bit of time playing the outfield, came up as an infielder.
Yeah.
That must have been quite a transition for you, going from the infield.
I never got comfortable out there.
Did it feel like you were 500 yards away?
I felt I was listening to everything in the stands. I didn't know what pitch was coming. I hated it because I was bored, okay? But I do, my son's 13.
Yeah.
You know, I do these travel tournaments every weekend, and I have a lot of these coaches come up and say they clip these skyboxes off and use them as teaching moments.
Right.
I love looking at the hitting. There's 18 million ways to hit. Anyone who tells you there's one way to hit, don't pay them. Because you got to use
it's a scam.
Yeah, some natural athleticism. But I had you here.
Yeah.
We were talking in the car. I said, do you want to do outfield or first base? You said, let's do some outfield stuff. So I want to highlight just maybe something for coaches to teach their kids, maybe a drop step. I know it went back to straight fundamentals from jump when I had to go out there on what felt comfortable, getting different routes, coming in on a ball, setting myself to throw. So wait, I want to get into the, I want to get into the tape real quick, because I want you to peel off what Kevin Pillar says. Run this real quick for me. Kevin Pillar made a play last night. He's now become that fourth outfielder, gun for hire.
Okay.
He's an unbelievable defender.
Look at the eyes.
When he came up in 2013 as a rookie with Toronto, I watched him do some pretty special things. So when we went back 30 for 30 and we're able to highlight some defense, I want to take you back 2019, talking about how he pre-pitch prepares himself in center field. Take a listen.
I'm reading the pitch out of the pitcher's hand. I kind of have a good idea of where the pitch is going, whether it's a breaking ball, fastball, in, out. And a lot of it's just reading the swing. I feel like Castellanos does a really good job working underneath baseballs, getting the ball in the air. You know, in's not really going to affect him a whole lot. He's not really like a pull guy. You know, he's kind of stays to the middle field. So I happen to be maybe a step over here. As the pitcher's kind of going, I can read his swing path. And my initial move is just to open this way.
It's a hop.
Yeah, I like to just kind of replace my feet. I think a lot of people, if I don't get a good opening, like if I'm just drop stepping and the ball's hit behind me, now I'm wasting a step to go straight back. I think if I can just open this way, I'm already gone. If I can open this way, I'm already gone.
All right, pause this. Well, they got a new cat in center field that gets after it. I was taught when I went out there for the first time to do the drop step. Okay. First move's got to be back because it's easier to come in on a ball than it is to go back. He talked about what'd you do?
Well, that was sort of what I did. You know, if you've heard me on the network, you've heard me talk about Rusty Coons. Rusty Coons was one of the best outfield instructors that I had in all
you
my
had him with
years.
the Marlins?
I had him with the Marlins. When he got there, he's now in the Kansas City Royals organization up top now, watching the boys do their thing. But his thing was get comfortable. Okay, get comfortable, but how you go about that? Mine was 1, 2, and then I had a little hop, right? So the hop allowed me not to be flat-footed, in my mind. To all you out there, whatever works, work on the consistency, but you have to do it every single day. It's about reps. So when I got comfortable in spring training, it allowed me to then transition to the season. So it was like 1, 2, boom. And then my jumps were precise. They were on point. I was able to get the balls. And the most important thing is, you have to make an executive decision to go for balls in certain situations. We won't have one with Cal Tucker where you end the game going for a ball, laying out with first and second in the ninth inning to prevail and win a game 9-8. So these are moments where you have to be smart. And the one thing about Pillar is he understands situations. You hear him talking about what Castellanos does and reading and understanding.
Pitches.
That is the most important thing about anything you do is knowing who's hitting, when to shade in a little bit, when to shade over. I know you see the outfielders these days with their cards. I'm not going to knock the cards. I just want you to be athletic. You have to stay athletic.
Know who's athletic?
This cat right here.
This cat can go different. This play, some of this stuff, I mean, obviously.
Woo! This is insane. You don't make that catch. Right? But look at his jump. He was actually a little flat-footed.
He's positioned over there,
but it's the route.
Knowing the hitter.
Yep, that's the route. George Springer is sitting there going, man, I don't even know if I could have made that play. And he's a really good center fielder. But look at my man,
awareness.
J-Rod in center field. Awareness, knowing where the wall is, and then able to sort of correct himself and get over and make that play. This right here is just knowing where the wall is and getting up, right? So his routes are always on point. Look where he gets to. He sees the wall, but he now knows what he has to do to get back and then also get up on the wall and not sort of jam. You know, sometimes you get guys that jam themselves against the wall because they get too close.
I feel like this guy could play wide receiver for the Bears. Justin Fields might need this. Watch him go get this. See you later.
Right, he's on the other side of second base, man.
This
is
is
what I love,
45-yard
right?
post route.
But what we have to talk about, DeRo, this is the most important thing. When you get your jump, it's the route. It's the route efficiency, right? So it makes sense. Yeah, you can get a good jump, but you got to get to you got to be able to have that route and sort of have that direct angle to the baseball. I played behind or played with a few guys, Devon White, Marquise Grissom. Like these dudes sort of allowed me to watch. They worked, and BP, they took, they took fly balls. They did all the little things that allowed them to go play the game at a high level of consistency and get outs when we need them the most.
He's one of my favorites to watch because he overdoes the fundamentals. You want to talk about kids at home? When a coach says get behind the baseball to be in position to throw, watch Harrison Bader. I mean, this is perfection for me. Look at him. Whoop, 2 hands.
Yep.
Every time it's the same thing. Watch him get behind it.
Man, you know what? Some things you can't teach, but you can watch and incorporate.
Real.
Right? Like incorporate that in your game.
Look at him.
Oh, look at
Setting
that.
himself to throw.
Man. So as a base runner, you have to now think a little bit because he's behind the baseball. He'll throw you out.
And you wanted to highlight Outman and Tucker.
When you think about Outman, right? This play right here, I like. Cam Maven was on the show the other day with me. Look how he goes back. Sometimes you can get turned around, but then he takes that last peek and is able to make that catch. You can circle around it at times, but he says, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to make the adjustment on the fly and still know where I'm at with that last peek so he can jump against the wall. I was mentioning Kyle Tucker, right? Look at the situation. 9-8, bottom of the ninth, boom. First and second. He comes around, then he goes at the last second, I have to make this play, right? Look, I have to lay out. He sort of rounded it, but then he says, no, I can catch this, and I'm going to win us a ball game right here because if he doesn't catch it, then you have a walk-off by the Angels. I just think of certain situations. As far as me as in the outfield, I knew where I was, but it's always a split decision. So if your jump is on point, everything else is sort of, goes with the flow. That's the best thing about getting a jump and recognizing what's going on, situations, who's hitting, where I should be. If you cover all your bases, then the game's easy.
Yeah.